Guest today is Stephen Jones of the Sunday Times and the Saracens captain Brian Davis. Steve, put this vote in context for us.
It's to decide, John, whether a bankrupt old order, the county order, who have no moral right whatsoever to take part in the administration of the game today, are going to keep their grip on the game. I hope they don't. Now, they think that the new commission report and the new game is to the detriment to them. I don't see what it is to the detriment of the game if Orrell plays Saracens in a new stadium in front of a lot of people in a dynamic new game. That is to the benefit of everybody at whatever level.
OK, well, it's effectively the old against the new. As Mike said, we hope to have the result before the end of the programme. Now, because of the England training session this weekend, only one First Division match was played yesterday, but a hugely significant one nonetheless, between two sides desperate to avoid the drop.
Austin Healy's masterminded Orrell's best work this season. His form should have Matt Dawson looking anxiously over his shoulder. Wing Jim Naylor's another who would be pushing for international honours, but injury has wrecked his season. But Ian Wynn stayed fit, and his strong running's vital if Orrell are to stave off challengers for the top northern club spot. Michael Liner's signing shocked the rugby world and has definitely put the previously unfashionable Bramley Road on the map. Fly half Andy Lee's probably the man least pleased to see Liner. Does this mean the Saracens' kicking machine will have to move on? Skipper Brian Davis will be the envy of scrum halves everywhere, but he must be aware that they'll all come out of the woodwork to challenge for his position.
Simon Mason's a fullback with a future. He's been selected for Ireland A against Scotland A on Friday. Graeme Smith, a forceful winger, but the days of Orrell's mountainous pack are gone. Bigger might be better for them these days up front. Now, Saracens were missing Richard Hill with a shoulder injury, a back row man on the fringe of the England side, but they did include Tony Diprose, another promising forward, and Greg Bottomman was an England replacement last season, but seems to have dropped down the international pecking order at the moment. A vital game. Commentator at Edgehall Road, Nigel Starmer-Smith.
Kazani and Cooper, front and middle jumpers, over them all, tap back by Phillips. And Saracens have won it. Davies, Andy Lee, John Buckton dummied too, and through goes Ravenscroft. Just slight hesitation there, he could have shipped it on quicker. This is Diprose, deep into the 22, off goes Phillips, Dan Phillips that is, 7 metres out. Saracens threaten here, men over if they can use it well, through goes Ravenscroft, just short of the line. No, held up, no try, 5 metre scrum. So nearly an opening score for Saracens. It looked really on here. Ravenscroft, strong running, good cover tackle by Healy. Just enough to get underneath the man as he fell and keep him up from scoring the try. And now it's Saracens driving again, almost to the line. Davies, Lee, Ravenscroft again, the tackling's good. Tuingamala got in with that one. Saracens have it again. Brian Davis sees half a gap. The cover comes in though with Clive Cooper's tackle. And a knock-on, close in. But there's an offside against Martin Scott. Saracens want to take the quick one. Not 10 metres back. And it looks as though Saracens are going to run this one from here. So here's a planned move. Players right back on the 22. Interesting, this one. All sorts of options open here for Brian Davies. Wide out to the corner, it's Diprose, but held up. Still in play though, back it comes to Alan Phillips. Still there and coming the way of Brian Davies, Andy Lee, Ravenscroft. Some good tackles coming in from Orrell, soaking up the Saracens' pressure. But the pressure's still there. Andy Lee, drop goal off the left foot. It's close, but underneath the crossbar. And no points for all that effort. And Orrell heave a sigh of relief. Langley the front jumper, Yandel in the middle. Diprose an option at the tail. It's Diprose they go for. Davies though collared, it was an awkward ball as Anglesey came round as well. Quickly taken. Offside were Orrell, the drive on by Richard Andrews. And the player on the deck not playing the ball. And I think Brian Davies is the injured player further away. So this is where the injury occurred. As Anglesey came round, I think it's just a matter of Brian Davies just fell awkwardly. So cruel end to Brian Davies's game. And on comes Philip Friel for his first league appearance. It's Healy now then on the tap penalty. Not so clever, but then Saracens aren't 10 metres back. So they're now up to the 22. Healy takes it. Thinks again, this time with Paul Manley as captain. 6 metres out. Nearest that Orrell have come so far. They press still. Anglesey with it. Just short of the posts. And the ruck killed by Saracens to concede a full penalty. And we learned from the dressing room that the luckless Brian Davies may indeed have broken an ankle at a time when Saracens battle to stay at least in mid-table. Needs the help of all the leading players they've got, and the cornerstone of the side has been Brian Davies. Meanwhile, the penalty by Simon Mason, his 29th successful penalty goal of the season, breaks the deadlock and gives Orrell the lead with quarter of an hour of this first half to go. Friel enveloped. And it's Anglesey who's been penalised, the Orrell number 8, just lying offside and obstructing the ball's passage back. So up comes Tunningley to kick for goal. This to level it.
Yes!
Yep. It's 3-3 then, with just over 10 minutes to play of this first half. That'll be a good place for one against the head for Orrell. It looks as though they've got that very possession. Still there with Healy, but over the top, quickly taken. Healy goes for the line himself on the tap penalty. His three-quarters are calling out for it, I think, to come wide. But they've got another chance because Saracens didn't retreat at all. And Paul Manley this time has hands on the ball and decides to kick for goal. This to retake the lead. No problem for Simon Mason. Takes his tally for the season to 30 penalty goals. Friel now. Ball went backwards, not a knock-on, but not a slick move either. Still edging forward, Saracens here with a chance, is in possession of Langley. They're still there, 3 metres from the Orrell line. Still the side that were going forward. And so a put in to Saracens as we come into injury time now, the end of this first half, so perhaps a final chance to reward all their efforts. Away by Friel. Lee, wide pass, Ravenscroft, and it's a giveaway, and it's a whole run to the line. And off goes Mason. Will he make it the whole way? What a gift of a try. And after so much sustained pressure, it's Orrell who get that crucial score surely on the stroke of half-time for the intercepted pass, and Simon Mason with a long run did it well, varied the angles to elude the would-be tacklers. And Healy, and there it was from Ravenscroft, a hurried pass under pressure, and Mason was up in defence and still had a long run to make. See how he zigged and then zagged. He had the man if he needed him. In the end, it was all he needed himself. Cheer goes up from the crowd. It's 13 points to 3. Healy takes the return pass from his number 8. Knock on, advantage. Saracens with Buckton. Now with Harris. Harris has got pace. Still going, can he get round? Harris for the corner, it'll be a tremendous score if he makes it. The touch judge keeps his flag down, the try is given. What a comeback by Saracens in the opening minute of this second half. A tremendous run by the left wing. It came from Orrell's knock-on, a good advantage played by the referee, and then Buckton was able to set his winger free. And he really did go for it here. Tuingamala was covering hard, but he could see he'd just got the edge, the despairing dives, and then into the corner for a close call, but you can see that the touch judge, Tony Spreadbury, was in close attendance. The midfield men cover, he's past them, and then goes for the line here. Well, he certainly made the touchdown, and it looks like a good call. Referee not happy. Scrummage was steady. There's a bit of a dust-up going on, and the referee has in fact given a penalty against Saracens for collapsing. And so it turns round against Saracens. A penalty chance for Simon Mason. Mason's kick. That's good. So 16 points to 8 after 6.5 minutes of this second half.
Simon Mason.
Set up by Manley, away by Healy. Good pick up by Hamer. Wide open spaces there. Gregory covering for Saracens, looks for the counter-attack, slips the tackle. Pass inside, just clung to by Peter Harris. Picked up by Yandel. Handling on the deck. Penalty to Orrell. Thumping tackle on Peter Harris there. No chance to get away that time. That's a good kick. Oh, he pulled it in superbly. And Mason. Once again, 19 points. And all of them by Simon Mason. Craig Yandel, new to Saracens this season, with his debut against Bath. He won that line out. And Saracens get it away through Friel to Andy Lee. Mason switches to Healy. Clever option taken there. Healy can run. Sets it up nicely. Off goes Luger. The little chip ahead, though, fell into the arms of Tunningley. Certainly the try possibility opened up then with that lovely switch. But the little kick through really was misdirected. Fell kindly for Tunningley. But it's Orrell still with the initiative. 7 metres out, they drive. Set back by Healy to Hamer. Dummies to Tuingamala, wide to Wynn. And across is Luger for the try by Graeme Smith. And that could be the killer blow. Lovely try. Beautifully worked through the midfield. And both wingers playing an important part. Graeme Smith, the scorer. And that's his 5th of the season in the league. Nice dummy with Tuingamala, the lovely feed. And then the two wingers acting well together. Luger setting up Graeme Smith for the perfect run-in. 11 minutes to go. Orrell lead 26 points to 8. Avenging the defeat at Saracens early in the season. Popped up from Healy. Luger, strong running, finally held by Philip Friel. Healy away, Hamer, Tuingamala, long feed to his other centre, that's Ian Wynn. And Ian Wynn's little cut inside works well, and again onto Mason. It's Mason against Gregory. Mason in front of the post has the support of Smith, and that wraps it up. Graeme Smith's second try, unselfishly fed by Dan Luger, as he was the first time he scored in the match. And that takes them clear and pretty well home and dried. 31 points to 8, and only about 10 minutes to go. Good work here. The long feed. There was the important cut inside that Ian Wynn made to create the opportunity. Past Buckton, and then the two wingers. Here it was Gregory against Luger, and then just a little overhead to his fellow wing three-quarter, Graeme Smith, the Scotsman, to make it a celebration day now for Orrell. Mason's work was good. Graeme Smith, the scorer. Friel, Lee, Ravenscroft. Set away by Dan Phillips to Alan Phillips to Langley. Bottoman, Gary Holmes. This is more cohesive from Saracens. Ball buried there somewhere. Use of the feet by Orrell. Gives the penalty, which is quickly taken. Diprose via the other two back row. Buckton out wide. Chris Chesney for the corner, and the try finally comes for Saracens. All too late to turn around the scoreline, but could, who knows, be important in the final analysis at the end of the season when the points differential comes into play invariably. So it was well worked from the tap penalty through the three arms of the back row forwards. Buckton then timing his pass well to give Chesney that half chance, past Tuingamala and into the corner. And off comes Healy, always a catalyst of attack. Works hard, does a lot. There is to feed the pass out to Hamer, to Tuingamala. Off goes Ian Wynn. Out wide is Graeme Smith. Smith for the hat-trick to round off. Spectacular performance by Orrell with their 4th try, and the hat-trick for Graeme Smith. Fairly straightforward down the line, and then the well-timed, well-positioned pass to make use of the overlap with Graeme Smith. Certainly enjoying 3 tries in the last 40 minutes. So this for 25 points if he gets it, and an Orrell 40 on the board. It's a tremendous effort, just ducked below the crossbar. That's the final kick of the match, and Orrell can celebrate a good afternoon's work. Splendid work by Simon Mason, whose penalty goals and earlier try set up the initial advantage to Orrell. A hat-trick of tries for Graeme Smith, and Orrell with 2 important points that take them well clear of relegation troubles, but create still problems for Saracens, who are still dangerously close to the bottom zone. Well, 2 young men who are stars of the piece today, and for you, Graeme, I guess it's, well, you'd be happy when television cameras turn up, because it's another hat-trick the last time we were here you got one.
Well, I wish you'd come every week. There was a few other things. I got some new boots before the Wasps game when I got the last hat-trick, and I got some new boots today again, so it might be that or a combination of the two, so I'm just happy.
And also, of course, a squad weekend ahead, Scotland under-21?
I'd say, yeah, we've got a tough schedule ahead. Got to go up to Edinburgh tonight, and then off on Wednesday to Dublin, where we're playing against the under-21s Ireland, so it should be good.
Well, alongside you, 23 points is not a bad haul, Simon?
Yeah, it went quite well today. You know, I think the TV cameras bring out the best in us, certainly.
In fact, you weren't nearly playing, were you, because of your other commitments?
Well, yeah, I mean, I must thank the Irish Rugby Football Union for allowing me to play today. There was a bit of doubt up till about yesterday lunchtime, but thankfully they've let me play, and you know, I think the Orrell management is certainly happy, so we've come away with 2 points, and that's what we intended to do.
So Orrell are effectively safe, but Saracens know that if Gloucester undergo even minor surgery and start improving, then the last game of the season between the two of them could determine who stays up and who goes down. Now, Brian, you didn't see much of that game yesterday. You better show us the leg. There it is, I'm afraid, in a measure of plaster. I'm not quite sure what that picture's on your sock, but anyway. What happened? What's the extent of the injury?
Luckily, it's no fracture. I've got to have it x-rayed again tomorrow. So they say I've just torn my medial ligament, whatever that means. I just know it hurts.
Is that the end of your season?
Hopefully not, no. Well, it depends if Rob Healy turns up or not, I guess. But
that's another matter.
That's another matter, yeah.
All right, well, we'll talk about the game itself with you in a second. Here's what Steve made of it all.
Welcome to the new temple of running rugby. Orrell? All the old rhinoceros forwards have gone, and it's the young backs now in charge. Austin Healy, Graeme Smith, and Simon Mason on his way for the first try. This was the best of some dazzling moments. Lovely long pass from Mason, which changes defence immediately into attack. Healy's good enough to take out 2 with 1 pass, and if a luger's kick had been a little higher, he must have run on to score. But every circus needs a ringmaster, and Wynn, with this beautiful pass, was the man wearing the top hat. This was Smith's first try. Here comes Wynn again. A lovely, clean outside break. This time, Simon Mason doesn't want to go all the way to score, but on his left, he finds a man who does. And the final flourish from the ringmaster, a lovely long pass to Smith, and Smith's on his way for the memorable hat-trick. Now, Orrell's pack used to hang around waiting for scrums. That was Martin Scott not hanging around. Finally, the officials. They refereed as a 3-man team and did it well, but perhaps 6 eyes and not better than 2. Surely Harris's legs are in touch. Surely he's just short of the line.
Well, irrespective of that, Brian, that's a pretty disappointing result for you, isn't it?
Oh, hugely disappointing, yeah. The camera's a bit of a bogey to us because I don't think we've ever won. Well, certainly not since I've been there. Perhaps that's the other common denominator, I'm not so sure. But yes, we're back in the maelstrom at the bottom there.
You were throwing your hands up watching that because it was the first time you'd seen it. Some of the alignment in the back, some of the tackles that were missed. You know, is that something that's got to be worked on?
Well, we've been quite good at it all year, really. The midfield there of John Buckton and Steve Ravenscroft, normally so sound. Something didn't quite work yesterday. I know Orrell have improved immeasurably as a backline since we played them at the start of the year. But yeah, we've got to look hard and long at our defensive lineup yesterday.